Hello and welcome to today's video where I will teach you about activities in Android Studio. And this will be only the first of 2 or 3 videos in this topic. And to begin the easy way, we will create an application that has 2 activities. When we press a button, we will go from one activity to the other. So as you can see here, there is one activity. When you press the button, you are sent to the second activity, and there is also a little toast message saying that the application is opening activity 2. When you press this button from activity 2, you will be sent back to activity 1. Again, you will see that toast message. So this is what the application does for now. On the press of a button, it will take you from one activity to the other. So let's see how we do this. As always, you will start by opening Android Studio. You will create a new project. Under phone and tablet, it will be an empty activity. You click Next. You can change the name, the package name, save location, and minimum SDK if you choose to do so. However, I just leave it as it is for this simple example. And the important thing is to have the Java programming language selected instead of Kotlin. You click Finish. It will take a bit of time for the project to load, and we wait. Once the project has loaded completely, we can move to the next step, and this is creating the second activity. For this, you go in the left side of the screen under the project folder. Make sure you have the Android view selected. You go for the Java file, and then where it's the package name, you click Right, go to New, Activity, and select Empty Activity. You can change the name, the layout name if you want. However, I just leave it as it is. Again, Java programming language, and then you click Finish. This will create your second activity. As you can see, you have the main activity 2 Java file, and you have activity main 2 XML file. Moving to the next step, this is creating the proper user interface of this first activity. And as you can see, at this time, we have only the Hello World text view, which is automatically placed when the project is created. We will change a little bit the text view in the way we change the text name to this is activity 1. We also want to increase the text size, so we search the size attribute. We find text size and we increase it to 34. This should be large enough. And now we need to bring the button on the screen. So we select the button, we drag and drop it. And because this is a constraint layout, we have to define the constraints of this new object of the button. We drag and drop the arrows to the edges of the screen, and then towards the bottom of the text view. Problem is that right now, these 2 items, these 2 objects are very close to each other, so we have to increase the distance between them. With the button object being selected, you just increase here to 24. This should be enough. You also want to increase the text size. So for the button, 24 should be enough. Actually, even 20, it's enough. And we change the text of the button to something like go to activity 2. I decided to increase the text size of the button a little bit more. When the user presses this button, there is an action that the application needs to perform, which is to open the new activity, activity 2. For this, there is a method that needs to be executed. So we have to give the name of this method. You type onClick here in the search bar, and then you find the onClick parameter of the button. And here you type a name, any name that you want, and I will say onClick btn1, onClick button 1. And this will be the name of the method that will be executed when we press this button. We leave it as it is for now. And then we move to activity 2. In activity 2, we have to do the same. We drag and drop a text view. This text view will have to say, this is activity 2. The text size, I believe it was 34. And we need to define the constraints of this item. So we drag and drop towards the corners of the screen, the sides, I mean, the upper and the lower. At this moment, this text view is located in the middle of the screen, considering this top part. But we also need to bring a button. We have this button. We start by doing the constraints. Then we select the button. We have the size already entered in the search bar, so we can just go to the text size attribute. We increase it to 24. Then we go to the text attribute and we change to go to activity 1, because this button will take us back to activity 1. And we give a name for the onClick method, which will be onClick btn2. So our activities should look the same. With the exception, I didn't give some space between these two. Okay. So we have one activity and the second one. Moving to the main activity Java file, now we have to code the method that will be executed to take us from activity 1 to activity 2. For this, we say public void onClick btn1 view. We click on view, then Alt Enter. We import the class. Then I will just say as follows: intent1 equals new intent this, and then main activity 2.class. So what I've done here, I've created a new intent, and of course we have to import this class as well. Here you are, you can see the classes being imported. So what I've done here, I've declared a new object, intent1, which has as parameters when created this package context, and I also indicate the activity which will be opened. In this case, activity 2. Then the only thing you have to do is say start activity. Start activity and pass the intent that carries all the necessary details. Now, if we run the code as it is and we press a button, this will take us to activity 2. However, what I want to do, I just want to add a toast message, and this toast message will say opening activity 2. So I will just say toast dot make text, and it will be this method. I'll say get application context. Then we'll say whichever text we want to display. For example, opening activity 2. And then we have to give it a duration. I believe a short toast should be enough, about 2-second time display. And of course, at the end, we say show. And that's all we have to do. I'll just copy this entire method and I'll go to the second activity. I paste it and I just change onClick button 1 with button 2. The intent 1 will become intent 2. This time we will open the main activity instead of main activity 2. Okay, the toast will say opening activity 1, and then the intent that we pass here as parameter will be the intent 2. And that's all we have to do. We just save everything. We select, if you have multiple devices, virtual devices, you select the one that you want, and then you press Run App. Our new app is already loaded in the emulator. And as you can see, we have activity 1 loaded. This is the main activity. And we have the button saying go to activity 2. When I press this button, what should happen is a toast in the lower part of the screen should be displayed saying opening activity 2. And then everything should change to this is activity 2. And the button will say go to activity 1, which means we already left activity 1 and we are in the activity 2. So let's see. So we had the toast. I don't know if you had time to see it. And now we are in activity 2 and the button says go to activity 1. If I press it, I'm going back to activity 1. I'll increase a little bit the size, so maybe you can see this better. Opening activity 2, opening activity 1. And this is the way you create multiple activities and you navigate between them. I hope you have learned something new today. If you have any comments, suggestions, opinions, anything to share with myself or with the community, please leave a comment. And until we meet in the next video, keep practicing and enjoy Java programming. Have a good day.